Hey, so I want to talk a little bit about my experience with the Instinct 2S Solar and also kind of my journey going from an Apple Watch to a G-Shock to this thing. I think there might be people on the fence about what type of device, what level of smartwatch you might want, and this might help out. I started with an Apple Watch Series 4. I thought it was cool, but basically I just hated charging it every day. It felt obnoxious to have to charge a watch every day. I don't know, it's something I thought I would get used to. I didn't. I never did. I always hated that. So I eventually decided, with the problems of charging it every day and having to kind of be careful with it, because it's an Apple Watch, it's not particularly rugged. I ended up just getting a G-Shock. Not one of the normal, like, non-smartwatch type G-Shocks. It was one of the first, I think it's one of the first Bluetooth connected ones. It was just the basic Gshock Square, but it had Bluetooth that you could use to auto set the time instead of using the atomic signal. It could still do atomic, which was nice, but I don't quite want to buy an atomic watch at this time because the government, I believe, keeps wanting to shut down the atomic signal. And I don't know if they'll ever do it, but they keep talking about it. It's one of those things that might get defunded someday. So having Bluetooth as a way to set the time and keep it in sync with the atomic clock is always great. Also, it's a freaking G-Shock, so it's rugged, which is one of the other things I really wanted. Couldn't really do much with the Bluetooth other than you can set the time and maybe like set some some alarms. I never used that. It was just a basic watch and it worked, and I enjoyed it. But at a certain point, I started getting into, I wanted to lose some weight and get a little bit more healthy, and I always really, really enjoyed the Apple Watch and its metrics that it will collect from you. And I really missed that. So I thought about getting an Apple Watch, one of the latest ones, or getting an Apple Watch Ultra. But the battery life is just still not there. I could not justify spending the money on the Ultra for like maybe 2 days of battery life. I just couldn't do it. So I searched around, tried to figure out what I was going to do, and eventually I came across the Garmin Instinct series. It seemed to be the best combination of ruggedness and smartwatchness. Basically, it's the closest thing I could find to the G-Shock, which could also do decent smartwatch stuff. When compared with the Apple Watch, this is not going to be good lighting, is it? Sorry. When compared with the Apple Watch, the Garmin's are, the software, the app, is not as nice. You can kind of integrate it with the health app, but it's going to be like a one-way street where you can put info into the health app. Garmin can't read info out of the health app. So you're kind of stuck with Garmin's app and their features. They're not bad. For the most part. The one that I have the most problem with is sleep tracking. I don't like the way Garmin does it. The watch itself, as far as hardware, is fine. It has the hardware for good sleep tracking. It's just that the way the app handles it's not great. They should be updating the Instinct series to have, I'm going to turn around here, get better lighting. For you, not me, I guess. They're updating the Instinct series to have nap tracking, which should fix most of my issues with the sleep tracking features. Garmin's pretty good about updating their existing watches when they do stuff. Let me rephrase that. They're good at updating existing watches to get new features that they put in new watches. It's not going to happen with everything, but I think nap tracking and stuff will come to the Instinct, at least the Instinct 2 series. But yeah, I've been pretty happy with it. It does GPS tracking. Like right now I'm on a walk and I'm tracking the GPS. I really enjoy that. Gives good metrics for heart rate. You can do blood oxygen. It does heart rate variability, which is nice. Basically, I just enjoy not having to charge the damn thing and still getting my smartwatch metrics. So far I've got like 2 weeks of battery life. I'm not outside all that much, so it's not going to get a lot of solar charging. I actually work night shift too, so that don't help. But yeah, battery life has been a breath of fresh air. Obviously the Gshock, you never have to charge it because it doesn't really do anything except tell the time. You can also set this thing to be like that if you want. You can just turn everything off and it'll work indefinitely. It'll just charge itself from solar. But then you could have just bought a Gshock. So I wouldn't recommend that. But you know, so far I don't have many complaints about the Instinct. It's going to be a terrible input device. I mean, if you're getting it because you want to like reply to text messages or something, don't do that. It's basically a read-only type thing, which is what I wanted anyway, so that's fine. Another thing about the Garmin watches is you can have custom watch faces, and if you can program, you can literally code your own watch face to do anything you want, pretty much. But there's a library of existing faces with Garmin's Connect IQ app. The Garmin apps are a little bit funky. They're just not as good as Apple's in terms of quality, I don't think. But I haven't had any like what's the word? I haven't had any like terrible experiences with them. Like, it's fine. But yeah, if you've been kind of on the fence about do you want an Apple Watch or like a traditional G-Shock type thing, check out the Garmin watches. Even the ones other than the Instinct series are pretty cool. A lot of them have memory in pixel displays, which means they don't really draw battery life unless the backlight is on. Apple Watches have a AMOLED screen, and there's a few from Garmin that have that as well, but they don't all. Memory in pixel is really good for stuff that you use outdoors, and that's what this is. This one is just monochrome, so it's even more battery friendly. One thing I will have to note is if you do get an Instinct, check out both sizes, but keep in mind that if you get the 2S like I did, which is the small one, the band on it is freaking tiny. I think it's supposed to be a women's watch. They don't market it that way. But even for women, I would have tiny wrists. And I have an aftermarket band on it. It's like a knockoff Apple Watch band, which really quite nice, by the way. It's like a sport loop, but the band that comes on it is really short. So maybe try one on before you buy it. You might need a different band if you get the 2S. But the thing I was going to say about the 2S is for the watch faces and the apps and stuff, there are some apps that don't support the 2S, I think because it's a different screen size. So keep that in mind. You can look on their Connect IQ store before you buy one to see what's compatible with the 2 versus the 2S. So yeah, hopefully that helps someone out. I wish I had that, you know, when I was trying to make the decisions, but I've been real happy with it. It's a little bit expensive, but once you get over that, pretty good. I like it. I've been happy. So hopefully that helps someone. I'll see you guys in the next video.